I don't want to set the world on fire.
Welcome once again, everyone, to the next episode of the Foally of Man. Today we're going to be looking at Chapter 12, Must Go On. So, you think you can have what it takes to beat me on my stage, in my town? Come down. We'll see.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of The Foally of Man. I'm Robert, and this is...
Chris.
Boom! Shit happens in this chapter.
Yeah, this is the one.
Hell yeah. Yes, sir. So I'm ready to jump in it. For those of you that don't know, we talk about Fallout Equestria, which is a Fallout fan fiction involving My Little Pony.
Oh, yeah.
Chris is a brony, and I am not. I'm ready to get into this one. So can we go ahead and get into the chapter review?
Go.
Hell yeah. All right. So first of all, Velvet Remedy is disgusted at the idea of eating meat.
I know.
Yeah. So Little Pip gets into what is it? Is it roasted rabbit?
Yep. Roasted rabbit.
Half ruined roasted rabbit.
Well, I mean, they had to eat, so they just went to the cafeteria and bought a rabbit.
Right. So they go back to the camp. They're with Gaudina, and so we get a proposition where Gaudina actually hires.
Well, yeah, because she was like, "So you guys are ready to go?" And Little Pip's like, "Well, I could, but you got a lot of shit going on that needs settling, and something tells me that this is going to end up bad anyway, but only one, and that's the one I want to make sure happens."
Well, and what happens is so it's double cross after double cross after double cross. All right, so Gaudina hires Little Pip to assassinate Deadeyes, which of course Velvet Remedy. Oh no! Oh my! Oh,
it's not British.
It's you can't do it. No, don't do it. You brute! Don't kill. In predictable fashion.
But she manages to get Calamity on her side because Deadeye's forces are the ones that killed Silverbell's family.
Yep. Yeah, that was the turning point. It's so funny that Velvet Remedy was like, and you know that song I was writing? It's about you, Little Pip. And it's like, it's about you. Son of a bitch. Also, if bad language, if you're sensitive to bad language, there's going to be some language in this episode because
there's some language in this book.
This is where the shit hits the fan. So
beautiful.
Yeah. All right. And so they go to Deadeyes, and the idea is like, well, do we just kill everybody in the camp? And Little Pip's like, no, there's actually some good ponies in there. You know, they're not all bad.
Yeah.
And of course, looming all the time, we know Red Eyes is about to.
Red Eye's forces are
they're
almost to engage.
Yeah, they're on they're waiting to just overrun, basically. So Little Pip goes to Deadeyes, and Deadeyes has another job for Little Pip to assassinate Gaudina. Yeah. What do you know there? These two opposing forces want to kill each other. Fascinating.
All under the beautiful Mr. Topaz.
And so Little Pip has to make on the fly a plan to kind of like, how do I set this up? I know what I'll do. I'll get Velvet Remedy to put on a free concert as a distraction. I'll put Deadeyes and Gaudina at the same fucking table, and then I can decide who I want to kill. Although Little Pip's always leaning towards killing Deadeyes anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you're paying attention, you know Deadeyes is going to be the one to die. But if you're not paying that much attention, you're like, holy shit. It's really hell on the reader, because it's like now the reader doesn't know what's going to happen, so you're sitting there very tense.
Yeah, well, but it's kind of clear, you know, that Pip prefers Gaudina, and Gaudina's been more honest up to this point too. Deadeyes, Little Pip does not trust at all, especially having read his ledgers and notes and stuff like that. So the assassination, the time to assassinate occurs. The idea, of course, is that there's going to be a big distraction. And we find out right before that Deadeyes has rigged the stage to blow if anything should happen to him.
Yeah.
Because the plan is to shoot and kill Gaudina and then make a shot at Deadeyes that makes it look like you're trying to kill Deadeyes. But what Little Pip does instead is the exact opposite.
Yes, and
makes it look like she's trying to shoot Gaudina and then actually blows the head clean off of Deadeyes.
Yeah, and pulls Velvet out of the way of the explosion back into the stage.
Because the stage was rigged to blow.
And the explosion actually hit it, thankfully.
Yeah.
Which means that nobody's the wiser.
Right. Well, and the other thing is, too, Little Pip was afraid that Velvet Remedy was doing like a raucous rock and roll tune and like stomping on the stage. Mm-hmm. And because of the quality of explosives that they've come across, Little Pip was very concerned that she'd set off the explosion herself.
Wouldn't that have been something?
Yeah, I mean, so anyways, it would be calamitous, you might say.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, look at that. I feel like the writing with the characters was a little bit more comfortable this chapter. That not that K-Cat wasn't comfortable with the characters, but the characters kind of they were their truest versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And Calamity's kind of coming into being a good comedic relief.
And the pacing for the action in this was better, I think, than the train scene. The train scene was good.
It's very well written. Yeah, but I mean, there's more intrigue, there's more drama, there's more going on. So we find out who Mr. Topaz is.
Told you you'd like him.
Yeah, fascinating. A giant fucking dragon.
Yeah.
There's dragons in this.
Yeah.
There's dragons in My Little Pony, I take it.
Yes.
Gotcha. Oh, that's right, because that Spike character, he's
yeah.
not a lizard, he's a dragon.
Yep.
I gotcha. Well, and I suppose Discord is a dragon, right?
Draconiquus.
A what?
It's a chimera.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a combination of different animals, and he represents chaos. Therefore, his
we all have chaos in us. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Anyway, Mr. Topaz, who's bellowing fire from his stomach, has basically trapped Little Pip down the vault, and we find out that the gems all along were to feed to Mr. Topaz. Right?
Yeah.
The
vault itself is filled with memory orbs.
Memory orbs, which we don't really find. Oh, that's right. We do find out they're confessions.
Yeah, they're not confessions. They are the actual acts of the individuals who did things, but they were ripping their memories out.
Right. Yeah, that's right. It's not
ripping out part of their minds.
Yeah. They were breeding unicorn ponies specifically to be able to use their powers to do that. Or they were training them, not breeding them, training them. Sorry, I used the wrong term. Horses, breeding, ponies, fuckery. It's magic, all right?
It is magic.
Friendship is magic.
And friendship never changes.
That is right. So I think that... Oh, no. And then Little Pip, right before Little Pip is bound to be dead, assuredly, by Mr. Topaz, because he's a giant fucking dragon, Calamity, in calamitous form, shows up and blows some big...
With a actual, anti-vehicle sized plasma cannon
strapped to his battle saddle. Yeah,
strapped to his belly, and then the batteries on top, and it's that must have looked really fucking goofy.
Yeah, well, even Little Pip is laughing at first.
It's like, the hell are you wearing?
You look ridiculous. Well, the gun, Little Pip says the gun is bigger than Calamity.
Yeah, so he's not wearing the cannon. The cannon's wearing him.
Yeah, which, man, Pegasi are some strong mother effers.
Yeah, well, see, that's the point, is that unicorns are able to use their magic as a tool. Earth ponies have their magic in the form of physical strength and fortitude, and the Pegasi have their magic imbued into their flying.
Yeah.
And because there is inherently a more or less magical individual, not to say that, your lack of magic means that you're not contributing to pony society. You could still do that.
Right.
Just not as much. But it means that they can... It's almost an alteration of the world space.
I have a question for you. If you were a pony, would you like to be a unicorn, a Pegasi, or an earth pony?
I'd have probably been a unicorn, but I don't know, unicorn or earth pony. It makes more sense for me to be an earth pony based on my heritage and lineage, but I'd probably end up being a unicorn.
Interesting.
The whole technical stuff.
I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
There you go. I'm guessing I could ask the same of you. What would you be?
Would it be too self-congratulatory to be like, oh, I'd be a Pegasi?
I don't think you're flighty enough to be a Pegasi.
Flighty enough. Oh, I'm just a boring earth pony. Dumb as dirt, predictable Leela. Let's see here. So... Yeah, that's the chapter.
Well, you forgot the very end where Little Pip says, "Okay, this isn't going to fucking work, but here, have some grenades," and it works.
Oh shoot, that's right. Yes, so Mr. Topaz is dead.
Yeah.
Because the magical cannon had weakened the side of Mr. Topaz, and the grenades, which normally wouldn't have done much damage inside the belly of a dragon,
indigestion,
blows out his weakened side, and He's just gone.
Ooey, gooey. Ruptures through its stomach, creates a concussion in his internal organs. He just... Squishy.
And once again, Velvet Remedy's an afterthought. Oh, yeah. Velvet Remedy's hiding in the visitor center. Maybe we should... Yeah, I guess I gotta go back. All right. So I think that it is time for the pony pun of the week.
Ah, yes. I was thinking about how to do this, and I realized I could make a rather off-hoofed comment. And while thinking of that pun, it actually came quite off the fetlock. Fetlock, if you do not know, is the part of the arm that's right here.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes,
off the cuff.
Yes.
Yep.
So off.
Yeah, off the cuff.
No. I'm saying as in. So the pony pun of the week is
off-hoofed comment.
Off-hoofed comment. Trademark. We'll have that.
Yeah, we'll have the trademark down there.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So how about our listener question of the week?
Okay, so listener question of the week is from Walter White, and he asks...
Walter White?
The Walter White. And he asks you, what about FOE's version of Fallout World do you like the least?
So what element of it do I like the least? So, not a bastardization, but would it be a ponification?
Yeah, a ponification.
What's the ponification that I don't like? Interesting. I really should read these questions ahead of time and actually formulate a response. So there's not any...
Well, I mean, I think we're a little bit early because we go way deeper into ponification of stuff later. So,
you know, that's
like, he doesn't even
negative.
See the, I mean,
other than the fact that it's fucking ponies.
We don't even see the BEL until much later. That would probably be your favorite thing. But...
At first, the idea of the battle saddle upset me, but then I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's what it would have to be. But it's just like the imagery is ridiculous.
Okay, well there you go. I mean, I would have gone with the imagery of just a pistol.
Actually, that is the truth, because you and I have had long discussions about, and I know we've had some arguments on the boards about like how a pony holds a gun in its mouth and fires, and
I know.
That's
you can,
the mouth grips. That's number one.
There's just no way. There's just no way.
Yeah,
it's a little bit ridiculous.
I must say nay. It wouldn't happen. All right, so. Well, anything else you wanted to cover? Any other ideas? Any other things that jogged in your mind from this particular episode? Things you wanted to...
there was... I realized... I don't know what brought it to my attention, but the elevator leading down behind the stage...
Mm-hmm.
Very clearly from Dead Money. Which I don't... Did you play Dead Money?
Yeah, I played Dead Money.
Yeah, but you remember that...
Did I play Dead Money?
I can't remember what parts you did or didn't play. I'm sorry.
Well, I am a cheap bastard, so some DLC is beyond me. But no, I did play Dead Money.
You can get them all for like $6 now when it's Christmas time. Just go out there, because like any vacation, all the Fallout, like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas Game of the Year edition, all goes down to like $5.
I have a question for our listeners for this week. Are there any of you who were My Little Pony fans first, who read this and then went to play the game?
There is one guy. I don't know if he's going to be here for it, because I don't even remember if it is who I think it is. But he
be a little more vague. This guy that I know.
Well, he could be somebody in the comments.
And he was
already.
Like this, and he might, but he's not, and I don't know.
He could be in the comments already. I'm not trying not to be like talking while he's not here, kind of thing.
Right.
But he hated Fallout for it.
Oh, and did this turn him back onto it?
This is how he found out about Fallout, and he got interested in Fallout, and then he played the game, and then he realized that the story and any of them does not compare, and it can't. It cannot, because it's about the personal experience, not about what is handed to you.
Right, and it's got to be flexible. That's been one of the biggest critiques of the game from people I know. They're like, oh, there's not enough options. And so they finally give you versions of the game where there's different endings and different things like that.
And that was what people liked about New Vegas. But the problem is the fact that it's still not, I mean, it's not as in-depth. It's not as emotionally moving because you just don't care.
I told you I would have liked an ending where it actually, I told you the sides were too black and white. I in a world that's supposed to be gray, the whole idea is that it's gray and that even evil people have their own motivations. Kaisar was way too blanket evil.
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah.
no justification.
No
he just does it because he's the son of a bitch. But that's boring. Every other villain in the series has their own personal motivation. So that's my big critique of New Vegas. And it's not that I'm trying to side with a villain, but I like a villain who's got a good backstory. I like that,
or one that's really charismatic. I mean, even if they're evil,
right.
they love being evil. Because what's his name? The bad guy, the ultimate the end boss in Fallout 2. Frank Horrigan.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy, did he love being evil. That was a guy who ate evil for breakfast. Shout out evil. He loved evil. It was his entire existence.
I would call that a flat character when they don't have any depth to it. But you got to remember,
it's charismatic.
True evil doesn't think it's evil. Mm-hmm. It thinks that what it's doing is right. I'll touch on comic books for a minute. Wilson Fisk, as the Kingpin, doesn't think that he's a bad guy. He thinks that what he's doing is what Hell's Kitchen deserves, that it's the right thing, and he needs to be in charge to make that happen. And that's what makes it interesting, because what he does, he believes in his core that it's the right thing to do. And that's what makes
a good villain, because
absolutely.
Because it makes you question yourself. It's like, well, his motivations are right. His utility is wrong, and then you start wondering, well, can it work other ways? What if it's different people? Yeah, it makes you question. And when a story makes you think, that's when it gets good. And that's the thing is people can keep praising New Vegas, but it didn't make you think.
And on that bombshell,
back to the studio.
I'd like to remind people, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us at CriscoCast. Also, if you are watching us on YouTube, you can find us on our podcast at thefoallyofman.libsyn.com. You'll also see foallyofman.libsyn.com there. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to hit you. But if I did, I'd hit harder. Okay. And also, if you're listening to the audio podcast, check out the video podcast. It's on YouTube. You can find us on youtube.com/Crisco brand biscuits or something like. You can find us. Just do Crisco Foally of Man. Type Foally of Man and you'll find the channel. There's lots of ways to find us. But I just wanted to say thank you again for listening. All of you, we appreciate it. All your comments, everything. It makes doing this worthwhile. It makes, spending more time on the video and the audio so it doesn't look like shit feel really good. And especially when we get comments where people say like, yay, the new episode's out.
That makes us feel better.
Or
that makes us feel great.
I was having a bad day, and then I got a YouTube comment or a notification that the next video was up, and I'm getting a little. It's cool. I get a little chills. It's nice to have somebody appreciate what you do. So from the bottom of our hearts to the bottoms of your stomachs, as it were. So, anything else?
Nope.
Lovely.
From Chris, I'm Chris,
and I'm Robert.
And we've been the Foally of Man. Goodbye.
Hey! It's all over, but the crowd